Yeah, I was muted.
Yeah, perfect. Now we can hear you.
Now
That
it's
is
unmuted.
great.
Now it's unmuted. No, this one is muted.
Okay, can people want to hear us?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah.
We can hear you. You are
If you
audible.
confirm on chat, I will.
Yes.
Yes, I'll be, yeah,
Okay, now they got it. And finally, our last juror, I am MSA Vice President for members. Info, also. Every year, something in the program changes, but one thing doesn't change. Our hosts for the Express Awards Gala, because we have the same wonderful Julius Nobel begin to Germany. But some things do change, and we decided to replace our program general assistant with one of the program coordinators because the mental health in which programs in Croatia. I will now give the floor to our hosts who are going to present a little bit of background into Rex Crossley and the Rex Crossley Awards Gala, and then we'll continue with the presentations. Thank you. That's all from my side for 3 minutes.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Rex Crosby Awards. Can we change the slide, please? Thank you. So, as we've already mentioned, the Rex Crosby Awards are really important to us in IFMSA, and this award is a recognition of a sort for the best activity. And with this award, we want to encourage our members to stay sharp while enjoying their activity and to be better each year. So enough about the award. We want to briefly explain why is it called the Rex Crosby Award. So
yeah, we're gonna move on to the next slide. Exactly, Rex Crosby basically voiced it actually. Rex Crosby Award is going back to our former and maybe first president of IFSA back to 1951, Rex Crosby. Yeah, just like after he passed away pretty much like in 1962, then in honor of his work and his engagement and motivation for the IFSA for our Students Association, we now decided to celebrate the Rex Crosby Award and showcase our most impactful activities. This year's activities, we can go on to the next slide. Please. For this Rex Crosby Awards today for the gala, we received about 60 applications by activities. The whole pre-selection process was performed by the programs team, and now we have our 7 selected finalists, as Nico already said. And we received applications about like all and every region, and I can say we're super proud of that. Great. So we might go on to the very first, as soon as the technical issues. With the very first activity, because we know MPP preparations are waiting, so we move on. With Lobster, let's care about HIV and AIDS together by Sims Indonesia. We're super excited for the video now. Woo!
Hello everyone, I am Fahira from Kimsa Indonesia. As the activity presenter of Lobster, let's care about HIV/AIDS together. First thing first, we will talk
Yes, problems. Yeah.
about the problem. Hello everyone, it's an early test for Hello everyone, I am Fahira from Kimsa Indonesia. As the activity presenter of Lobster, let's care about HIV/AIDS together.
Okay, maybe we should start something like this activity was involved in the program I am presenting here today is the HIV/AIDS and other STIs surprise and program, and we're super proud of it. Like, yeah.
Hello everyone, I am Fahira from Kimsa Indonesia. As the activity presenter of Lobster, let's care about HIV/AIDS together. First thing first, we will talk about the problem. Hello everyone, I am Fahira from Kimsa Indonesia. As the activity presenter of Lobster, let's care about HIV/AIDS together. First thing first, we will talk about the problem statement. As we can see on the orange bar chart, the number of HIV cases in Indonesia has reached more than 500,000 cases in 2023. Furthermore, on the blue bar chart, we can see the total of AIDS cases in 2022 reached more than 9,000 cases. Especially in Banda Aceh, the number of HIV/AIDS has reached more than 2,000 cases till this year. This figure is estimated to be even more greater because in Banda Aceh, people with HIV/AIDS are often ostracized and shunned by the society. This makes people who are suspected of having HIV/AIDS are afraid to take the test. On the other side, the lack of education regarding HIV/AIDS in Indonesia is the main problem of why the number of cases is increased. Based on the pre-campaign assessment result, we can conclude that there are still many respondents who have insufficient knowledge regarding HIV/AIDS. Some of them still think that HIV can be transmitted through shaking hands and thought that HIV testing is too expensive. Therefore, Kimsa Indonesia held an activity called Lobster, Let's Care About HIV/AIDS Together on 3rd December 2023 in Car Free Day, Banda Aceh, with a ground campaign in public places to educate the people and provide a free voluntary counseling and testing as an early test for HIV/AIDS in the general public. Lobster supports the third point of SDGs, namely good health and well-being, and enroll in HIV/AIDS and other STIs IFMSA program. The goals and success indicator of Lobster is based on Chimsa's vision and mission, which is empowering medical students and improving nation's health. We provide a training to the organizing committee to increase their knowledge regarding HIV/AIDS with Petra and VCT skill with a doctor. Also campaign to the general public at least 30% and held a free VCT for minimum 20 participants. The target of this activity is medical students and general public. Lobster has 3 interventions, starting with pre-activity, main activity, and post-activity. The implementation for the pre-activity are training about HIV/AIDS with Alfie, VCT skill with Dr. Eka Sartika. We also collecting a pre-campaign assessment for 5 days and promoting Lobster through a radio show on Jati FM Banda Aceh. For the main activity, we're giving a free VCT to the general public and campaign about HIV/AIDS and measure the knowledge by pre-test and post-test. After the main activity, we posted a recap of the activity documentation on our social media and follow up the general public 5 days after the main activity to measure the knowledge regarding HIV/AIDS. For the evaluation, in pre-activity, the evaluation method was giving a pre-test, post-test, and feedback form for the organizing committee. In the main activity, we also giving a pre-test, post-test, and feedback form, but this one are given for the general public who is involved in the campaign. In post-activity, we post a post-event video on our Instagram. The technique we use to follow up the participant is to measure their knowledge after 5 days of the campaign. For sustainability, we will hold this activity for a more specific community target, specifically to the people who has a high risk of being infected and transmitting the disease. The outcomes on the pre-activity training, the increase in post-test knowledge obtained exceeded our target of 28.2%. On main activity, the general public knowledge increased 10.2% in the post-test result. The total number of VCT participants exceeded the initial target of reaching 48 people. And the total views in the post-event video reached almost 2,000 views on our Instagram. Here are the collaboration and partnership we have, which is Ministry of Health Indonesia and Banda Aceh, Jati FM Banda Aceh, and Prince Nayef bin Abdul Aziz Hospital Banda Aceh. I think that's all. Thank you so much for your attention. Lobster, let's care about HIV/AIDS together, show solidarity, act responsibly.
We're just waiting for them to unmute the owl so that we can hear them. So don't worry about that, okay? If anyone on site can hear us, please unmute the owl so we can hear you.
Yes, we can hear you.
Anyone in the gala, if you can hear us, please unmute the camera. We can't hear you.
There's one. Try now.
Can you hear me now?
What's the microphone?
Oh, it's this one. Which one? Which one?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
We cannot hear you now. It's also important to note that the owl itself showcases a mute button. It indicates that it's muted.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Now.
Now? Do you hear me? I feel like she can hear me. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. It's a bit far away, but we can hear you.
Now.
Yes, we can hear you now.
Okay.
Is it possible for them to come
But, okay. I thought that it would be better if we use their phones to save time, maybe. Because coming here will be maybe too much.
It's really true. Where do I speak? Here.
There.
I just have to get on the podium and everything.
I think it would be best if you go to the laptop where the screen is shared near Manuel. We hear Manuel the best.
I will pick the, oh, sorry. I will put this here. Wait. No, it's not broken, it's not broken. Now put there, try.
Did you call me a puta?
Put there. There.
Theo? There?
Top.
Can you hear me now? No word. Can you hear us?
We can hear you, yes. It's a bit muffled, but we can hear you.
Wow. Can you hear us question now?
Again, the audio is best near the laptop where the screen is shared. So Manuel's laptop has the
Alright,
best audio.
Can you hear me now? Loud and
Yes.
clear.
Miko's the best voice. Okay.
Yeah. Shout.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes, that is perfect.
Okay. Thank you so much for your activity. I can understand that with stigma in the region, it might not have been easy, but good job. My question to you is, why did you choose the partners you chose, and what was the impact of these partnerships?
Okay, thank you so much for your question. Let me answer it. So the reason why we choose the Ministry of Health of Indonesia as our partnership is because the first thing, they really help us a lot, especially to for the facilities. They provide us with all the requirements and the place also that there have must be kind of like permission to make an activity on car-free day. So they really help us a lot for that. And for the radio is because we want to share our activity to all over the Banda Aceh in Indonesia. So from the radio and based on Banda Aceh that most people is still hearing a radio nowadays. So the radio is really helpful for us to promoting our activity. Thank you so much.
If you are speaking, you are muted. We cannot hear you.
Yeah. Hello, do you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Okay, so thank you very much for working on such a relevant issue. My question is, how do you ensure the sustainability of your activity, and how would you increase the impact of the activity in like other reproductions of the activity? Like when you repeat the activity. Yeah? See?
Okay, I get it. So for the sustainability, we will make the same more activity kind of like this, but more to specific target. For example, like the someone who are easy to get infected to this HIV/AIDS. So we want to make this activity to be more specific. And for the sustainability, we will help this activity not only for my local, but also all over local in Indonesia.
Okay, thank you very much.
Are there any further questions by chat, please, for anyone else?
Then post something, will you be okay if we
Yeah, or you can also maybe join the Zoom by the phone. Okay. Okay.
The question was if they type it in, if we could just.
So moving on, now that we have figured out how things work, open, let's not take too much time. Okay, guys, moving on to our.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on to our second activity, please welcome Diabetes Awareness, Don't Sugarcoat It from MMSA Malta.
Hi everyone, my name is Krista Kotayar, the MPO of MMSA Malta, and I am very excited to be presenting our activity called Diabetes Awareness, Don't Sugarcoat It. So with regard to the problem statement, essentially there are 3 points. So 10% of the Maltese adult population suffers from diabetes. Deaths attributed to diabetes were also the 3rd highest in Europe, and Malta was named the most obese nation in Europe in 2022. So with these points in mind, our initiative involves a comprehensive approach to tackle diabetes, focusing on educating individuals about the signs and symptoms of diabetes, as well as encouraging frequent testing. So additionally, the initiative aims to address the broader issue of obesity by promoting healthy lifestyles. So who is affected and who are we targeting with our campaign? Firstly, the elderly are the most susceptible to diabetes, as they would benefit from being educated regarding the diabetic signs, symptoms, and prevention of any further complications. Regarding youth, it is important to develop healthy lifestyle habits during this time period, as this would significantly influence long-term health outcomes. Lastly, medical students play a pivotal role in disseminating information, conducting awareness campaigns, and engaging in healthcare practices related to diabetes. With regards to objectives, so we would recruit 20 medical students 1 week prior to the preparatory workshop to serve as leaders to help train the first-year students. Then, by the 2nd week of November, to carry out the workshop to educate them on diabetes, as well as teach them on how to perform free health screenings and how to interpret and explain these results. The next initiative would be that on the 2nd Sunday of November, we would carry out our main event at our capital city Valletta, which would consist of health checks, information stands, and outreaching. Next was to carry out at least 3 health checks or education talks by the end of November. We also wanted to collaborate with at least 1 external organization to provide leaflets on diabetes and healthy lifestyles. And lastly, we wanted to create at least 1 social media post regarding diabetes, 1 video explaining how to conduct health checks, and 1 quiz video by the end of November. Regarding methodology for our workshop, first my coordinators explained the signs and symptoms of diabetes, and this was followed by a presentation by a vascular surgeon who talked about diabetic foot, and followed by our amazing World Diabetes Day leaders who were explaining to the students how to perform health checks. Then we had our main event take place at Valletta, our capital city, on Sunday, 12th November. This consisted of numerous health screening sections, including blood glucose, blood pressure, blood cholesterol, BMI and waist circumference, as well as mental health awareness stand and a diabetes informational stand. In the second photo, we were quizzing the general public regarding their knowledge on diabetes, and they took part in our raffle to win 2 blood glucose machines. We also collaborated with a local gym, which provided the public with gym vouchers if they took part in the challenges. We also had a section dedicated to children, whereby we were educating children about the process of diabetes in a simplified manner. In the second photo, there's our lovely Scora team who was educating the public about gestational diabetes. And lastly, we had our sponsors, the Health Promotion and Disease Prevention Directorate, who kindly provided us with numerous leaflets on diabetes and healthy recipes, and they also had a nutritional stand on the day. Regarding health checks, we ended up carrying out 2 health checks at our university, as well as going to numerous localities and organizations to carry out health screenings for their members. This year, we also were invited by a school to give a presentation about diabetes to health students, followed by a peer education training to teach them how to carry out basic health screenings. Regarding social media, we started our Diabetes Awareness Month by posting an infographic. We also filmed 4 videos explaining how to conduct health screenings. And lastly, we had filmed a vox pop at Valletta to test the general knowledge of the public whilst also educating them. Regarding evaluation as a pre-activity assessment, we went through the previous feedback forms of last year's events to assess where improvements can be made. Regarding in-progress and post-activity management, after the workshop, students were asked what expectations they have for future events, and verbal feedback was given from the leaders to see what improvements can be made. We also evaluated our social media interaction, the number of resources used during health checks, number of booklets distributed, and the number of health check slips distributed. Regarding outcomes of the campaign, I am very happy that we had 120 students attend the preparatory workshop and 61 students attend our main event at Valletta. We had managed to carry out 6 health checks and 1 pre-education and a social media outreach of 9,120 people. Lastly, I am very happy that we have managed to test around 1,500 people for blood glucose. Thank you for listening.
Can you hear me guys online?
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you.
The way that we can hear like our speakers online and in person is with mic but in front of the laptop. So time for the questions of our judges, yes. Linda, come over. So try to, with the mic in front of the laptop. Maybe you should sit here.
Yeah.
Oh, you can.
We can. Hello, do you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so my question is, how do you measure the social media uh, impact? You wrote out something, outreach. Yeah, so how do you measure that?
So can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Perfect. So first of all, thank you for your question. So it's quite simple, really. So with regards to the numbers, I believe it was around 9,100. I asked our PR coordinator to go into the insights of Instagram, and she sent me every single screenshot of all the videos and the social media posts, and then I just tallied it up. Same with regards to Facebook. So it's quite a simple way to measure it, luckily with Instagram and Facebook.
Okay. Do you have questions?
Okay.
Okay.
Do we have any more questions from the judges? Okay.
I'm going to sit here.
Okay.
Congratulations on the wonderful activity, Marga. Can you please tell me how you hope to make this activity sustainable? Do you hope to continue it in the future? And if yes, how do you hope to increase the impact from previous years?
So thank you for your question. So with regards to sustainability, obviously because it's a health check, we always have the problem with regards to loss of papers, especially when giving out numerous leaflets. So an idea for next year, which we're also currently working on, is that we're working on 2 of our healthy lifestyles leaflets at the moment, 1 on fitness and 1 on diet. So then once those are ready, we can distribute them to the public. As well as, so usually after health checks, we write down the values on a piece of paper and we distribute it to the public. An idea which we can try to implement, but it might be a little bit hard, is to try and find a way with how to do this online via an application or a particular Excel sheet. But it depends because obviously we're targeting the elderly population, so they might not be that tech savvy. But that is an idea to keep in mind. And something which we implemented this year is that we have our World Diabetes Day quizzes, and they're already laminated, so we can continuously use them in the previous years to prevent, obviously, loss of paper. I'm not sure if there was another part of the question. Sorry, I forgot.
Thank you a lot for this nice introduction. Are there any more questions? No, I see none.
So thank you a lot, MC Malta, for this nice introduction. And we'll quickly move on to our next activity. And I'm super happy now because I guess it's some unique event here because like we don't have, I only have one NMO presenting their activity, but it's an inter collaboration. So we're looking forward and excited for one moment. I will have to read it out. I'm so sorry for that. Unison Mad Palestine in collaboration with Lansing Lebanon, IFSA Egypt, IFSA True, IFSA Pakistan, IFSA Iraq, IFSA Algeria, IFSA Libya, IFSA Kurdistan, and IFSA Iran. We're super happy to have you here. So now to announce the activity's name. So let's wait for the presentation of Liberation Breaking Barriers. What the heck?
Hello everyone, I'm Batul Ammar and I'm PAMSA Palestine's president. I'll be presenting our campaign, Liberation Breaking Barriers for the Rex Crossley Gala. This international activity is coordinated by Rula Isa, and it is a collaboration between 9 NMOs from 2 different regions in IFMSA. It has been enrolled under the Standing Committee of SCORP under Emergency Disaster Risk and Humanitarian Action Program. Starting with the problem statement. Since 7th of October, there has been a recent and continuous attack on Gaza that targeted civilians, healthcare personnel, churches, residential buildings, and schools. It has resulted in the displacement of the majority of population in Gaza and has killed more than 29,800 people and injured about 70,000 more. The current situation in Gaza is dire. There's no access to clean water, food, vaccinations, medicine, fuel, internet, and the WHO warns that more people could die from disease than from bombs. If you could look with me here, you can see that based on the recent statistics, that 30 hospitals and 123 ambulances are out of work in Gaza. 100 healthcare personnel have been imprisoned and 340 have been killed. On a personal level, PAMSA Palestine has lost 25 members. They have been killed since the recent aggression, with many more losing their friends, relatives, and houses and being displaced. Through our campaign, we have targeted 3 groups based on power and interest. They are the general population, doctors, and medical students. We started the campaign on the 14th of October 2023, and our goal was to contribute to raising the awareness of young healthcare professionals and educate them about the human rights violations ongoing in Gaza. Throughout educating them, we wanted to be a source of reliable information so they could be better advocates in their own countries and communities. We had 3 objectives. The first one was to work with different NMOs, and within 3 to 4 months to have a collaboration with 9 NMOs of IFMSA, and we wanted to form a small working group with at least 2 NMO representatives from each NMO. The second one was to conduct a series of webinars about the human rights violations and how they are affecting children and women, and we targeted 200 participants for each webinar. And the last one was to create storytelling content such as reels, informative posts, stories, and documentaries, and we wanted to reach 10,000 people throughout our social media platforms. In regards to our methodology, we first identified the cause, and then we approached the NMO representatives and created a dedicated group for communication. We have also worked on developing a comprehensive plan about the topics that we will be covering, member skills, social media calendar, and deadlines for better and efficient execution of the topics. In regards to campaign partners, we have internal and external partners. Our internal partners are the volunteers, the 38 volunteers, including content creators, designers, and video editors. And our external partners are PAC Crisis Relief Gaza, which we are working with to provide aid to the south of Gaza. It's an initiative led by a medical student, and we have worked with them in collecting donations and providing aid, and PAMSA Palestine members have benefited from this collaboration. We have aligned our campaign with sustainable development goals. We have focused on good health and well-being, the third goal, but recently we have also posted about other ones, including no poverty, zero hunger, and how they are not met in Gaza, and what are the causes for this. Finally, for monitoring and evaluation, we have focused on our social media platforms and how our reach is, including also likes, comments, mentions, and the members' engagement. We have also set deadlines for executing the campaign's objective. We have given you some examples. One of our posts has reached about 9,000 accounts, and one of our reels has been played more than 120,000 times and has reached about 1,000 accounts. And throughout the past 3 months, we have reached more than 20,000 unique accounts, non-followers and followers as well. And you can see here our reels and posts and stories and our reach on our Instagram page. Finally, for the sustainability of the activity, we plan to do future collaborations with other NMOs and continue our collaboration with PAL Crisis Relief Gaza. We will continuously analyze the data to measure our campaign's progress and hopefully have more volunteers to create more content. Finally, we are dedicating this campaign to our members that we have lost. They are not numbers, and we are reminding you again to think of them as people. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer. Thank you.
The round of applause. So thank you a lot. Firstly, I'm truly impressed by all the engagement motivation you had for this activity. So I would like the activity presenter to approach now and speak up, and we will look for the questions we get. Can you hear us?
Yes, we can.
Brilliant. Okay, to the judges, are there any questions? Like I have to somehow. Yes. Do you want to?
Hey, Batul, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, my question is a bit PRC related. I wanted to ask, what was the involvement or how were you able to involve the different NMOs and the social media work, as well as the content creators that you mentioned?
Okay, thank you for your question. Regarding involving our partners and our collaborators, it was in terms of mentioning them in our posts on our social media, and also they would publish the posts and the content on their pages. I also have to mention that our partners, the volunteers and the content creators, are from different animals. And that's how we started the collaboration. We made sure that every animal representative is being contacted before publishing any content to ensure that we have comments and inputs from each animal. So this is how we did that. And we have to say that a lot of the animals that we are collaborating with have also published posts on their own. So we are happy that this campaign has inspired them to start creating content on their own, either the collaborating animals and other animals in IFMSA.
Thank you a lot. Got a first question.
My question to you is, can you talk a bit more about how the target population was, how did you reach out to the target population? You said your target population was the general population, medical students and healthcare professionals. Particularly, can you please emphasize on the healthcare professionals? Thank you very much.
Okay, so yes, as we mentioned, our target population, one of our groups in the target population was healthcare professionals and doctors. And throughout our campaign, we targeted them in showcasing our work. I'm happy to say that we have been contacted by professionals in our emails. And we are working on hosting another series of webinars with doctors from different universities. The most recent or the most upcoming one is a webinar about public health and infectious diseases outbreaks by Dr. Yara Asi, a Harvard fellow. And this is
this is a way to connect medical students with doctors. I would say that we did not approach doctors individually, but we knew that throughout our pages and our social media platform that we will be reaching them, and they will contact us. Other than that, we have to say that other doctors have also contacted us, maybe in another part of the campaign that we hopefully will be working on, and that is helping medical students who are outside Gaza to continue their studies, since it has stopped now. So these doctors might help us in reaching out to authorities and hopefully helping in this process.
Thank you so much. And we will proceed, if there are no more questions, and there are none, to the next activity. So just a brief thank you to all of our presenters who are staying up at late hours to be with us. We know that it's not that easy for you, so thank you so much. And continuing on, since I am from Croatia, it is my great pleasure to introduce our neighbors, Slomsik Slovenia, with their activity For Life Slovenia. Let's play the video.
Dear IFMSA family, dear jury, first I would like to thank you for this honor. I am Kristina, I come from Slovenia, from Samsik, and I am a national coordinator for all things regarding first aid, including For Life. For Life traces its beginnings all the way back to 2007, when medical students in Maribor, which is one of the two medical faculties in Slovenia, decided there are not enough available first aid and resuscitation workshops in their local communities. The solution was simple. They started offering free first aid workshops for everyone and anyone who wanted to learn. Today, 17 years later, medical students at For Life in Maribor and in Ljubljana voluntarily organize over 100 free workshops yearly with over 3,000 active participants. Now, many of you will probably wonder, how is 100 workshops and 3,000 participants supposed to be a lot on a national level? There is one thing I would like you to keep in mind during the whole presentation, and that is that Slovenia is a country with a population of 2 million people and only two medical faculties, Ljubljana and Maribor. And while the numbers may not seem very high absolutely, relatively our impact on local communities is that much more pronounced. With successful workings of For Life came, of course, new ambitions for projects bigger, more impactful, and reaching people in every part of Slovenia. That is why in 2019, we teamed up with Slovenian Resuscitation Council and Slovenian Red Cross in the organization of a campaign, Slovenia Resuscitates. Slovenia Resuscitates is a CPR promotion campaign organized around 16 October for World Restart a Heart Day. In 2023, between 8 September and 22nd October, we organized over 100 CPR promotions in more than 50 towns all over the country, in collaboration with volunteers from Red Cross, medical dispatchers, first aid responders and paramedics from over 30 hospitals, Slovenian scouts, students from health science faculties, and high school students from secondary schools of nursing. In all of this, I have to point out that For Life is the main organizer in the promotion and coordinating the volunteers, PR and social media. And all of this is done just by a couple of medical students, but also I suppose I don't need to tell anyone here just how impactful a couple of medical students can be. In Slovenia Resuscitates, we have the support of one of the most listened to radio stations in Slovenia. Broadcasts with promotion of our activity last year reached over 450,000 people, which is, please keep in mind, almost a fourth of Slovenian population. We were mentioned in 192 articles, reaching over 200,000 people. Our ambitions are clear. We wish to be the biggest World Restart a Heart Day per capita in Europe, but not because of numbers or ego or anything else rather than a strong sense of wanting to give Slovenian people the much needed skills of CPR. That is why at For Life we target both the promotion of CPR with the intention of reaching huge numbers of people, but we also target the teaching of CPR with offers of free, high-quality small group workshops organized in and for the local communities. Lastly, But importantly, I need to point out that we at For Life and at Slumsick, we know that we speak, we study, and we work from a place of privilege. Slovenia is a small and safe country with the #1 cause of death being cardiovascular diseases by a huge margin. But by targeting exactly this, we try to give back to our communities as much of our privilege as possible. Thank you very much for your consideration and all of our compliments to the other finalists. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for the great presentation. And let's hear it from our judges. So first question. Okay.
Hello, congratulations for your activity and for the history of the activity. So now my question is related for the future. What are the plans for the future? How are you going to, how do you plan to keep executing the activity, the sustainability of it?
You asked me about the plans for the future, right?
Yes, and the sustainability.
Sustainability in sense of how are we keeping this activity on this level, or do you mean like environmental?
I mean, if you're going to also talk about environmental sustainability, it would be great, but it's more about how are you going to keep the event running?
Well, mostly right now we're at the point that we are regarding the teaching and regarding the promotion, I have to separate these two things. Regarding teaching, I think we are at our limit, honestly, right now, because 100 workshops a year, that's a huge number. We have around 50 active students working at this activity, and based on how the numbers change throughout the years, I think 50 active medical students is about the most we can reach. Maybe a little bit more, but not much. Regarding the promotion of CPR, so Slovenia Resuscitates, currently our biggest goal is to get more medics involved, so paramedics. This is a huge thing because they're really active. They really try to give back to their communities. So by engaging paramedics and emergency medicine centers, like the small local centers, and by getting them to organize promotions around 16th October in their local communities, I think this is the biggest point where we can get the most people, so lay people to get the CPR promotions.
Thank you so much, Christina, for your answer. Do we have any more questions? Yes.
Thank you for submitting such a wonderful activity. My question to you is, you've named some very impressive external partners. Can you please tell us also how they contributed to your activity? What exactly were their contributions and your partnerships with them?
Okay. Yeah. So, regarding Resuscitation Council, they're our biggest partner because they're our biggest mentors, our biggest supporters. To be perfectly clear, they do not do much of the practical work, but by getting the highest professional organization in our country to support the work we do on paper, for media, for everybody else that works with us, it means a lot. So they're definitely our biggest partner. And then Red Cross, of course, they're also like the paper for media to get reservation for the promotions from local communities. And they also offer some volunteers, but not as much as others. So then paramedics, first aid responders, dispatchers, and then all the students and scouts, they offer volunteers. So in practice, that means that we organize the promotions and they come and they help us do the promotions because there are not enough of us, not enough medical students. So we need help on the ground. We need more people on the ground. And that's where the other organizations come in. So Slovenia Resuscitation Council and Red Cross are like our main partners. We can't do anything without them, and everybody else offers their manpower basically.
Thank you, Lord, for this. Are there any more questions? No, I see none. So you finally made it. Thank you, Lord. We know that's quite early for you. And thank you for all activity presenter here that join us online and wake up literally to join us here. And we really appreciate that you're still here with us as well. So let's move on to the next activity. So we are halfway through. There are 3 more activities to go. So let's go on with Empowerment of Women and Girls in Science by, okay, Asamco, Colombia. Okay, we exercised before. Okay, we're looking forward to it.
Hi, IFMSA family and members of the judging panel. We are deeply honored to present to you the first symposium on empowering women and girls in science, and advocate for its recognition throughout the Red Crosses Awards. This symposium will mark an important moment in our ongoing journey towards gender equality in Colombia. The objective of the activity is the first, explore the historical contributions of women and girls in science and research. The second, improve the visibility of female gender in the science. And the third, raise awareness about current challenges in science for women. This symposium was not simply an event, it served as a catalyst for change in our collective pursuit of gender parity in scientific endeavors. By illuminating the historical achievements of women in science, raising awareness of current obstacles, empowering new researchers, and offering strategies for fostering inclusivity, this symposium ignited dialogue, created dreams, and ignited lasting transformation. In Tuluá and throughout Colombia, where gender disparity persists not only in STEM fields, but in everyday life, this symposium emerged as a light of hope and empowerment for aspiring female students. By showcasing the accomplishments and expertise of women researchers, even medical students and young researchers, we challenge the stereotypes, paving the way for more equitable scientific landscapes in Colombia.
In our journey as a medical students group, we resist being labeled simple as women in science. We are scientific minds passionate about medicine, and being a woman is just one aspect of our identity. I know many colleagues here and around the world share this feeling. We don't want to be defined by our gender, ethnicity, or nationality. We want to be recognized for our contributions, for the value of our work. In ASEMCOL, we dream of a world where women and girls in science are valued for their ability and achievements, beyond every prejudice and stereotypes. We believe that together we can challenge these perceptions and create an environment where all brings minds are equally appreciated, where every achievement is celebrated regardless of gender. That's ASEMCOL vision, and we'll tireless work to make it reality. Thank you for considering the Symposium of Empowering Women and Girls in Science for the Red Cross Awards. Together, let us continue to champion diversity, equality, and excellence in science.
We can't hear you.
I think the camera cut off and then it came back again. We can see you now. We just cannot hear you yet, just yet.
Can you hear us now?
Yeah, we can hear.
Can you hear us now?
Yeah.
Yes, perfect.
Oh, wait, I'm doing it. I'm changing that. Okay, now tell us if you hear us, please.
We can hear you perfectly, but you cannot hear us. Okay, we're gonna send you the chat.
Hear
No,
us?
we can hear it.
Yeah, we
Okay,
can.
perfect. We can hear you.
Perfect. Yeah.
Please, you can stand there.
Okay.
Okay, it will be like this. Perfect.
Oh, wow. Congratulations, Asimco Colombia, for the activity. My question is about external partnerships around the Congress. Do you have?
Yeah.
Oh my God. No, they cannot see me, right? If you have external partnerships for the Congress, and if you have it, what were the benefits of the Congress that they gave you for the Congress?
Okay, like we got like many sponsorships right now, like CDO and Lens and Editorial Panamericana, and to a group of doctors that are into law. So they gave us like a little courses, books, and some more models, as we say that in Colombia, for the participants, because like the progress of them and how they also listen to the let's say to every single session, like for saying, was evaluated with the ones get some of the prizes.
Okay.
Some more questions by the judges?
I continue. And you can hear me well. Okay.
Oh, no, yeah, they can share them.
So, okay, I guess there are no more questions by the chat. Are there? Judges are discussing.
Okay.
No. Okay, there are no more questions. Thank you a lot for being here, for staying awake. Okay, yeah. And keep calling. Thank you a lot. And do we stay here?
Okay. Oops. Turn off the sound on that laptop. Oops. Did you do it? Test. You can hear me, guys? Great.
We can hear you, yeah.
So moving on, we have only 2 more activities left. And next is, why is this happening again? Energize. Let's check. Hi guys. Amazing. We are testing your patience. You cannot only win because you have the best activity, but also you have to be very patient with us. So the 6th activity is beyond the white coat. I have to say, yeah, you said it yourself.
Third-year medical student from IFMSA Kurdistan. Today, I'll be talking about our Beyond the White Coat activity. Throughout the presentation, I'll be talking about the problem statement, general description, methodology, our follow-up plans, and why us and this project. Why psychosocial support? Unfortunately, children are the most vulnerable part of the population that can face traumatic event at any time of their life. They can face traumatic events like abuse, discrimination, inequalities in the systems, and so much more. Studies show that 20% of Iraqi children face some hardships in their lives that cause them major traumas for later on. And more importantly, the lack of psychosocial support even makes their job harder and their challenges
exacerbates on their challenges even more. We, as the medical students and the responsible portion of the community, we decided to find a solution for that and dig deeper into the problem. That is why we started the project of Beyond the White Coat. Beyond the White Coat is a collaboration between IFMSA Kurdistan and Sounds of Change, which is a Dutch organization that teaches psychosocial support through using musical tools. This activity aimed to extend a hand of help to all the children that were in need and has faced unfortunate traumatic events. Our main objectives for this project were first to provide an opportunity for all the medical students to learn and educate them about psychosocial support. And make them knowledgeable enough with the adequate amount of information so that they have the information as a medical student to have it in their community, in their school, in the family, and whatever they step into. Another objective was to train IFMSA Kurdistan members to become trainers for later on so that to train others. One of our main goals was to give sessions to children that has undergone trauma, especially those in orphanages, oncology centers, refugee camps, and children of the hospital that were just in need. Throughout the sessions, we had the goal of using the power of music to strengthen their capacities and let them discover the capacities and all the skills that they have within themselves, but they were not aware before the sessions. For that, we started doing a thorough research in the beginning of 2023, and we started in August. And the first series of sessions were in August, 4-day sessions, followed out by very extensive meetings with the trainers that were from Sounds of Change, and we were asked to design sessions, which were later on, again, in the October series of sessions, improved, supervised, and we were taught how to implement them and wherever we go, including anywhere that we had plans to go, including an orphanage that you can see in the project here. It's us using our tools to create music, engaging almost all the children that were present there. Our follow-up plan is to bring this and make this as much as we can and teach it to every single person in our community to have more trainers and visit so much more than what we have now. We already have 6 trainers that can already train other people. We have visited orphanages that we've had more than 60 beneficiaries, and hopefully for the future plans we can visit as much as possible and help out as much children that we can. Finally, why Beyond the White Coat and why now? The Beyond the White Coat, in one of the sessions in the orphanage, there was this 11-year-old boy sadly sitting, waiting on a side and covering his ears every time he heard a scream of another child there. When we started the session, he was too afraid to join, but at the same time too interested to leave the sessions because of the sizes, colors of the tools that we had. He decided to join, and throughout the session, after we started teaching them how to use the tools and how to create music with those sounds, that 11-year-old boy started leading everyone else, and he discovered the potential within himself, that he had the potential to create music. And Beyond the White Coat, we learned, we laughed, and we healed together with the children in need. That's all that I had to share, and zor spas.
Presentation. Let's hear the questions from our judges. Yes, Linda?
Hello. Thank you very much for your presentation. My question is related to how do you evaluate the impact of your activity?
Okay. Hello, everyone. Slav from Kurdistan. I am Sana Karas. I'm proud to be a part of this project. as for the answer of your question, throughout the session, the sessions were divided as parts to have check-in, warm-ups, evaluations in between to learn skills, creations, and at the end to have checkouts. As for within the sessions and between the two sessions, the trainers were given assignments which were later on supervised and improved with the help of trainers again. After the project finished, the pre-evaluation forms and the post-evaluation forms were both filled in by all of the participants that again were created by the professional trainers that we had from Sounds of Change, and we're still in constant contact with the trainers that we have, and we make sure of the quality of our sessions before starting any project or any session that we plan to do.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, do we have any more questions? Yes, one more.
Hello, okay, just. Hello, do you hear me? Hello.
Can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
Okay, yeah, thank you very much for your presentation. I just want to ask you about the sustainability and if you have like taken action, any plans to impact that. Thank you.
Can I have the second part of the question again? I could not hear it.
My question is regarding the sustainability and which actions did you done for that part?
Did you understand the question?
Yes, yes. Regarding the sustainability of the project, we already have trainers now, which will be able to train other people, and this will continue as a chain. And for the sessions that we have, I already talked about the quality that we have, but we're already visiting many orphanages, and we're telling them about the trainers and the certificates that we have, and all the sessions and programs that we have. This project is set to be an annual project and repeated every year to spread more awareness about the project and train more and more trainers every year so that we can reach out to every place, every city of our country as much as possible. We already have gotten very good feedback from different orphanages and refugee camps before, comparing to going there before that, because we were not very allowed to visit these places in our country before. But now, after delivering these sessions, they are more flexible with us for the trainings that we give, and this motivates us even more and more to have more trainers throughout the upcoming years and months within our plans.
Perfect, thank you.
Thank you a lot for the questions, and thank you, judges, that you're still here with us, listening to our activities. We really know how to appreciate this. Okay, if there are no more questions, no, this was an explosive no. Okay, we will go on to the very last but not least activity. So I would like to, with this nice background music here, to set a spotlight on Lights, Camera, Mom van FSA Brazil.
Hello everyone, my name is Joyce and I'm gonna present the activity Lights Camera Mom promoted by IFMSA Brazil and coordinated by Mariana Galvão. First of all, it's important to comprehend that pregnancy is marked by psychological and physiological changes in the female body that damage the woman's self-esteem. With that in mind, we planned an activity addressing mental health as an essential pillar of maternal health and target low-income pregnant women, promoting to them the opportunity of having a photo shoot, since photography as art has the power to influence self-esteem. Thus, we created a welcoming environment where these women felt safe to talk about their insecurities and fear during pregnancy, to reinforce what are their rights and how to recognize obstetric violence, as well as informing them on what to do if they were ever a victim of any kind of abuse. Creating a space like this is essential to nurture the confidence of the pregnant woman, to allow them to relax and help empowering them while using photography as the tool to foster self-love. Nonetheless, since Brazil has a lot of unplanned pregnancies every year, accompanied with registers of disinformation, it was necessary to include talks about contraception and the options to adhere them during puerperium. Therefore, our activity aimed to promote good health and well-being as a whole to these pregnant women by creating the space where they could be the main characters and focus on their feeling safe, at the same time as aimed to promote gender equality by addressing how they could know and fight for their rights, as well as being able to plan their reproductive future, and also aimed to reduce inequalities as our target group would usually be financially unable to experience this photo shoot. So, to sum up, our goal was to provide a moment of well-being for pregnant women through the photos and provide information about motherhood care and the rights of pregnant women with the aim of preventing obstetric violence mainly. To reach that, we had 4 objectives: provide a photo shoot for low-income pregnant women, patients of the basic health unit, raise awareness among pregnant women about their rights and care during and after childbirth, to focus on collective health care in the puerperium and on rights during childbirth in order to avoid obstetric violence, and developing pregnant women's self-esteem, which is often stripped away by pregnancy thanks to the bodily changes characteristics of pregnancy. Our methodology to make this work was to make a partnership with a non-governmental organization called ONG do Cheiroso to put together a beauty station for those women to get ready for the photo shoot. Meanwhile, we promoted rounds of talks about obstetric violence, health, and the rights of pregnant women. Also, we went to a park where 5 stations were set, and 4 photographers volunteered to register these women. To evaluate these activities' impact, we made the following questions before chatting with the pregnant woman. Has a doctor talked to you about contraception in the puerperium? Do you know which contraceptive methods can be used after the birth of the baby and during breastfeeding? Are you aware of the rights of pregnant women? Have you ever heard of a birth plan, of episiotomy, of what forceps are? If so, do you consider it obstetric violence? And what do you consider to be domestic violence? After talking to them, we also had more questions. Tell us what you thought of the event was important to you. Do you consider forceps to be obstetric violence? Do you know what a birth plan is? If so, would you like to make one? Have you understood the types of contraception available in the puerperium? Do you know which contraceptive methods can be used after the birth of the baby and during breastfeeding? Do you understand the rights of pregnant women? Do you understand what obstetric violence is? And for you, episiotomy is a type of obstetric violence? Our main outcomes were that 55% knew what a birth plan is, and 45.5% of them would like one. 100% demonstrated knowledge of the contraceptives to be used during the puerperium and while breastfeeding, and 82% declared they are fully knowledge about the rights of pregnant women and what is considered to be obstetric violence after the activity. Here is some graphics showing the big impact the activity had. And we also had the opportunity to do a research and publish our results in many scientific events. And now I'm going to show to you a little video of the event and how it was with the pregnant woman.
Achando maravilhoso, assim, foi muito bem cuidado. As meninas conversaram bastante com a gente sobre maquiagem, cabelo, eu amei. Cada ponto é uma, como é que fala? Uma emoção diferente. Estamos ansiosos para chegar no mês que vem, já graças a Deus. E aí?
And that's it. Thank you so much for listening. And if you have any doubts, please feel free to talk to us about it.
From last applause for our last activity. Okay, thank you a lot. This was really nice. I like the video as well. Okay, so the last activity presenters. Do you want to join us on the stage here? Thank you. Yeah, maybe we should maybe not on the stage, but on the floor. Okay, in the chat, do we have any questions already?
Yeah, we have 2.
Okay, just for the Zoom chat, we're switching.
Should I mute?
No.
Okay, now. Can you guys on the Zoom please talk?
Hello, hello.
We can hear you.
Okay.
So, congratulations on the activity.
But it was a wonderful activity. My question to you is, can you talk about any external partnerships you might have utilized? And what was the contribution of the external partners? External partners and contribution of external partners.
So we have like a lot of exchanges here. We have, oh, sorry. We have our NGO as partner that permit us to, oh, thank you, to have the space to send the space for these women, get pictures and everything. We have also our university as a partner, so they help us for the long term for this activity because they help us with the research and we get a lot of volunteers for this activity, so we don't have like financial problems with this activity.
Yes.
Okay, so thank you very much for your activity. I think that is a really beautiful activity. My question is related to the future plans. So how do you think that you can increase the impact of your activity? And yeah, can I have two questions? Okay, so please answer this one and the other.
Thank you so much for this question because we have like 2020 a local companies. So this was made for one of our companies, but these are already being done by another of our communities. So we made this activity in São Paulo, but it's already made in some of Brazil in the south and in another cities of Brazil. And how we have a lot of support for this activity. We are planning the second edition in the same local community. So we are expanding this to all of our local communities. Do this impact for all private moment of our Brazil.
Thank you very much. The next question is related to the objectives, like the issues that you address in the activity. So you're talking about obstetric violence. You are like approaching this by targeting like the pregnant people. So we know that like also the people that have do the obstetric violence usually are people like from like other states, like the pregnant people. So do you have any plan to address this population in order to like raise awareness about that situation or trying to reduce obstetric violence, maybe like correlating this activity with something else?
So in this activity, before they take the forms, we have a moment with the results, just to talk about family planning and contraceptive methods, the abstract plans, and the pregnancy forward rights. So we spend a lot of time talking with them about that. And our articles are about how much they get to know after this conversation. And we also are planning to improve the way we are doing this one. So in the next edition, we probably are going to start to think about after they have baby, they really know about how was the event and how and if she had some obstructive violence situation.
Okay. Sorry. No, no worries, no worries. Thank you very much. It's because of like I'm interested by this situation, by this activity. Something that I was reflecting. Can I say what I was reflecting? Please? Can you think about it? Okay, I'll tell you. I'll tell you later what I was reflecting about this.
Sorry?
I'll tell you later.
Okay, thank you so much. Let's give a big round of applause to all of our participants. Then we on the participation as well. Another applause, please. And one applause for everyone who is here on Zoom. Okay. So, one technical information that may be useful to all is about the winner. The winner will be announced on the closing ceremony. And now, even though we had a lot of difficulties, we somehow miraculously managed to finish on time or before the official beginning of the NFDP. So enjoy the NFDP, guys, and for everyone tuning in, good night or good day wherever you are.
Before you start, a big thank you also to the hosts of the evening and to the BPA team. You did a wonderful job. I'm sure it was amazing to screen the activities. They were all amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you.